Hello and welcome back to Crossword Joe. This is Sunday, February 25th, 2018. This was yesterday's puzzle, air lineup from, and of course being a Saturday, it was from Fred. And I expect no less today. Let's get into it. We go over here, we change it to expert. Up here, we uncheck sound effects, which magically gets checked overnight, apparently. And go to today's puzzle, which is Way to Go. Way to Go. And yes, it is from Fred. So before we get started here, let's go to our let's do some stats here. Thing I want to point out today is Fred and Patrick are in a dead heat as far as most number, and he'll go up by one, and then maybe Patrick will have one or two over, this week, and they just go back and forth. I wonder how long that's going to keep up, or if that's part of the deal that Patrick gets apparently right around a third of all the puzzles, and Fred gets another third, and then the rest of them are just split up. So that's what it looks like, with Gail taking the lion's share of the crumbs, so to speak. With yesterday's puzzle going almost 18 minutes, I think. Our average now is well above 14 minutes. We almost got below 14 minutes there. It was like 14:05, I think, and now we're back up to 14:13. But anyway, we got that, and I also want to give you this as a little bonus. I think I have to move this over for you to see it. But this is a completion time and video time since the beginning. And you can see the comparison. Sometimes I'm long-winded or whatever, where the difference between a completion time, the puzzle completion time, and the actual video time is sometimes pretty short, like right here. And then other time, look at the difference there. It's like almost 20 minutes, but the entire video was like over 10 minutes longer. So, and then here's a nice short one. I think I'm trying to have I think the ideal would be like a 15-minute puzzle and maybe a 20-minute video. I think that would be the ideal. But let me know in the comments if you feel like it should be longer, shorter, that type of thing. If I should take more time between answers, trying to explain a little bit more, let me know. Let's go to today's puzzle, Way to Go, Fred. Let's begin. Let's see, a raptor's gripper is like a talon, right? Because they're like birds, right? Talon. Unlike a green banana. Well, unlike a green banana, yellow bananas are ripe. 3-card Monte, for example. That's probably a scam. Humble, I almost said it. Humble residence is a humble abode. Humble abode. Give off as vibes. I'm going to say emit. You emit something. You emit vibes. Blondie Kid. Oh, what was that kid's name? Oh my gosh. Blondie Kid. Who was that? We'll soon find out. What a dupe may be led down. Garden path. Garden path. Path is a way to go. This could be it. I'm just going to put it in and just see. Garden path. That's a common expression, isn't it? Okay. Well, we'll find out. Feels awful about. Feels awful about. Let's see. It may parallel a highway. It may parallel a highway. Street. See that STR. I'm gonna say ruse because I think that's street. And this is one of those things where I don't know if I went too fast there, but I'm pretty sure this is street something, like street pole or street way or something like that. And I was thinking it's probably ruse when you feel awful about. Okay, Beehive State native. Of course, Beehive State is Utah, so I'm going to say that's a Ute. Dire prophecy. Dire prophecy, probably doom. Dire prophecy, yep. Start at 65 now. We're not there yet. Let's move on. Was the author of. Well, let's see. Touch base after a flyout is tag up. So we know that's going to start with a P. Let's see. Peter out a bait. And Sophia Loren. Sophia Loren, yes. Pinner, maybe. Author is a pinner. Exotic berry and smoothies. Oh, I gotta memorize this. It starts with an A. And I forget what else. There's a weird letter in there. I can't remember. Let's move on. Mortasha or Gomez. Those are Adams, right? And they spell it weird. Don't they spell it with 2 D's? I believe so. Hamilton segment. Oh boy, that's going to be a scene, right? I'm shaking in my boots here because I do not want to lose my Hamilton card. I'm going to guess that that's a scene. Hopefully that's right. I don't think that really would warrant losing my Hamilton card on that. That's not exactly a specific question regarding Hamilton, right? It was just a question regarding any particular play. At least that's my defense. Piggy bank feature would be a slot because you had to have a slot for the money to go in. Otherwise, it's just a nice little, ceramic thing sitting there. Cupid to the Greeks. I'm going to guess that's Eros because I'm pretty sure that is the Greek equivalent to Cupid. But I may be wrong. We'll find out. That's what makes this fun. A fax forerunner was telex, right? It's one of those pays to be old moments. Telex, I believe that's the answer. Home of the Incas. Wasn't that Peru? Do I hear Peru? Yeah, because the Aztecs were in Mexico, right? I'm pretty sure this is Peru. I heard that recently. I don't quite remember where. Has the guts. Gave a silent 26 down. We don't know what 26 down is, but let's see. Does that even look right? Let's see. No, nor. It's probably, this is going to be pinned. Was the author of Pinned, not Pinner. And this would be gave a silent. That means nodded, right? We don't even have to know what 26 down is. Let's see. Has the guts. Dared. He dared to do that. Or he dares. Because it's has the guts. He dares to go where no man has gone before. Begin the day. Excuse me. Had a frog in my throat. Let's see. Begin the day. Wake. Could be any number of things. I don't think it's really needed at this point. Chris with 6 U.S. Open wins. That, of course, refers to Chris Everett. Very, forgot the E. Sorry about that, Chris. And of course, let's see, Everett. Yeah, there we go. That was pretty sloppy. But anyway, Chris Everett, tennis, very dominant during the, 70s or so. Corporal or colonel, that's a rank. Nosebag morsels, those are oats. Very common crossword answer. More Solomonic. Wiser, because Solomon was known to be a wise person. Wiser. Midside Nissan. Nissan Acura, Nissan, I don't know. And here's that Noah's landfall is Amarak, something like that. I mean, there's just a bunch of A's and E's, or A's and R's, right? Let's see if we let's see. An Aesopian conclusion is a moral. The moral to the story is this. A green light is a scent. So I'm gonna say Ultima. I think there might be a U there. Ultima. It's pretty good. I'm usually not good at car names. Citizenship prerequisite would be test. Not necessarily. Let's see. A place to hide and observe wildlife. That's a nature, what do they call it? Place to hike and observe nature. Trail. Place to hide. Yeah, trail. So that's going to be a T. We're still going across. That was our first thought was test. I'm just going to put that in there. Internet users. Peripherals. Peripheral. The internet uses modems. I'm going to say modems. Modems. Boise offering. Speaker. Stereo. Is Bose? Are they? I thought they were just speakers. Maybe it's stereo. Well, reflexology spots are going to be spa, so it's going to start with an S. So once again, we're going to go out on a limb here, and we're going to put in stereo. Big wheels for short. Big wheels. Rigs? No. Big wheels for short. That means it's abbreviated. Big wheels. Okay. Have a bug. Ale. I'm going to say maybe ale. Bread served with falafel. I would imagine, I'm pretty sure falafel is like a Greek kind of thing, and Greeks love their pita bread, so I'm just gonna guess at that, pita. Where to find eggs and yolk. I've never had falafel, but I've observed other people having falafel. I'm pretty sure that there's a piece of pita bread next to it, so it's worth a guess. Where to find eggs and yogurt. That would be the dairy aisle, right? Of course, right? Dairy aisle. Okay. Prefix with knock or lock. It's going to be anti-knock gasoline, and anti-lock brakes. Both of those are car, right? So it's anti-lock. They could have, let's see. Yeah, they could have put freeze in there too, right? Anti-knock gasoline, anti-lock brakes, and anti-freeze in the radiator. There we go. Also ran is a loser. Anybody that loses, that's a little phrase sometimes you hear. Sherlock Holmes, Miss Adler. Ooh, sorry. Don't know you. Let's see. Hergog, author, Bellow. Don't know that, but we know that reflexology spots going down is spas. And Faye, who lampooned Sarah Palin, is Tina. And the Ides of March rebuke is Etta. I think it's E. No? What is it? It's you, right? And this is probably Saul. Yeah, because this is Nature Trail. So we got that one. Airplane wing measure. That's span. And space blank, airhead. Space cadet, right? Okay, let's go down. Touch base after a flyout. That's tag up in order to score. That's a baseball term. Peter out, a bait, yes. Sophia Loren. Like Neil Simon's Couples, odd. I agree. It's a very funny movie and funny TV show. Couldn't do without, needed. If you can't do without something, you need it. A seized auto is a repo, yes. A Sunni leader is an imam. Imam? I don't know if that's right, but everything else seems to point that way. I can't believe that these other ones are wrong, but you never know. Race car stop is a pit, of course, a pit stop. A moral compass is ethos. I think it's ethos. Ethos, I believe, is the word. I just learned that about 10 years ago or so. It may parallel a highway, and this is where I think it's this. That's what I was thinking. This still may be wrong, but let's take a look at what we have here. It may parallel a highway. This is going to be a road. Okay, let's see. That's interesting. It may parallel a highway, a side road, a surface road. Surface road. There we go, a surface road. They parallel highways. Let's see. Lead for Charlie Chan is a clue because he was a very famous detective. I love those movies back in the day. Of course, now it's very racist, they say. So, city north of Des Moines is Ames. Ames, Iowa. I think that's how they spell it. Lion's share is most. Right? Most. Gave a silent. We already had this. Nodded. So that must be 26 down is probably a assent of some type. Where is that? 26. Assent. Yes. A silent assent. If you did that, it would mean you nodded. There we go. Thomas, who drew Santa. Oh, Thomas. Oh, what was it? Nash, wasn't it? Was it Nash? No, Nast. Let's see. Start a 65 down. What's a 65 down? Let's cheat a little bit. Let's see. 65 down. Retirement asset. IRA. So if you start an IRA, let's see. Let's see. Start. You'd think that'd be invest, right? So it may, surface may not be right. I'm pretty sure that is not an S right there. So I'm going to, and would this be start? Would that be a V? Would that somehow be a V? Let's see, survey road? No, that's gotta be surface, right? Invest? That's weird. Okay, who is this guy? Thomas, who drew Santa. Who was that? With ST as the end. Don't know that, but we know that that's Nature Trail. Let's just go through the rest of the downs. Green Light Ascent. Yes. Noah's Landfall. Ararat. That looks good. Aesopian Conclusion. Moral. Kazan, who was blacklisted. Oh, I don't know that letter. Machine Gun Sight is a nest. Know that. Holders of joint custody. That would be X's. And spew. You hurl as Vestas. Spew. Levi. Zachary. Sure, I guess. Shipments to refineries or ores. Yes. Like a string bikini is skimpy. Yes. Patient of some surgeon's tree. There's tree surgeons. Design made with tiles. Mosaic. We'll see. Designated driver's drinks are just sodas. That's right. No alcohol for you. Moved carefully. Eased. Creator of Pooh and Roo. That's is it an N? I think it's Milne. Unwelcome winter weather. Sleet. Yeah, that's not welcomed. Reflexology. Although that's kind of a judgment call there, because sometimes people that make their living out of going out in that kind of weather and fixing and all that kind of, sometimes that would be welcome. Maybe that's how they make their living. So that's kind of a judgment call, or judgmental in the clue. Reflexology spots, of course, are spas. Tina Fey, who lampooned Sarah Palin. Ides of March Tribute is Etu. MasterCard alternative, Visa. And let's see. Nutriment plentiful in lentils is not iodine, it's iron, right? Yep. And at the Sound of Music Peak, of course, is in the Alps. And a retiree's asset is an IRA. So it's Irene Adler. Got it? Okay. Let's go ahead and fill in the blanks. And this one right here has got me flustered. I'm not sure what that is. I think there's an I. If I'm not mistaken, there's an I somewhere. Boy, this is a tricky little section here. Let's see if we can get this one. Begin the day. Rise. Yeah, so we got that Ella. And I believe all we got left is this little problem area right here. If we just knew who this Thomas guy was who drew Santa. Thomas. Seriously, is it ethic? Yeah, ethic. Is it nest? No, maybe it's an E. Nest? No, Nate. Surf. That can't be that. It's got to be invest, right? Nest. So, this really has me befuddled here. because I know that's got to be an F. Nest, ethnic. We're gonna have to call it once again. We filled everything out, and we're just guessing now. So once we get to the point, we can guess a little bit, but then it becomes necessary for us to go up here and change it and find out which letters are wrong. And there we go. Oh my gosh, look at this. We didn't go through. It's not an Ultima. It is an A. So I got to remember that. A-R-A-R-A-T for Moses' landfall. Mount. That's where the ark ended up. This is an S, of course, mosaic, because if we just care to look at this, big wheels are VIPs, very important persons. So we actually had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That may be a record of wrong letters. Oh my gosh. But this is Sunday. That's okay. That's probably is it an A? Yeah, and then this is an I. So it's not, boy, as much as you think that it's going to be surface road, it's not. It's going to be something else. It's going to, instead of, the Blondie kid is Elmo, if I would have taken a look at that, it's service road. Ugh. Ooh, that was painful, guys. 6 wrong, but we did not allow, the computer did not have to solve it, so it's like at least we saved ourselves from that. So we got all 187, although we had 6 that was wrong initially. 17 minutes, 30, that's about what we did yesterday, wasn't it? It was a little less than 18 minutes, so not too bad. And we have not yet looked at the theme, but I think it's pretty obvious. The way to go is you go down a path, right? Or you go down a path in garden path, right? Or you go down a road in service road. Or you go down an aisle in a dairy aisle. Or you go down a trail in nature trail. So those are the ways to go. Those are like modes of transportation or places to go somewhere. You go down a path, down a road, down an aisle, or down a trail. So very good puzzle. Obviously, it challenged me greatly here, especially in this area, although my laziness cost 2 more. The Ultima instead of Ultima, and instead of VIPs, it's VIPs, and I just guessed a Z there. It was wrong, and I got caught. So six letters. I believe that's a record. I think the other one was. I think we had a 5 earlier, but not a prideful achievement by breaking that particular record, but it's in the books now. So anyway. Thank you, Fred, for both writing this and editing it. And I thank you for joining me in this little struggle. It's a challenge. It was a challenge going through here. It's like I was going back and forth on this particular letter, V, because I thought that has to be surface. And yet, I knew it had to be invest. So, and if I was just looked at this and just took the time, take another minute or two, I would have said, well, that's not going to be a U. That's going to be Elmo. Of course, Elmo is Blondie's kid, right? And I could have done that a lot. So maybe I'll do that in the future if I really get hung up or whatever. But I was really thinking that it was just here, and I got caught being a little lazy. So anyway, again, I hope you enjoyed this or had a good laugh at me struggling through this. But hope to see you again tomorrow. And thank you.